All right, well, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming at this early first session. It's a great pleasure to be here with all of you. And really thank Ish and all of our sponsors for putting together this great first conference about prediction market. My name is Zhong. Today I'm going to talk about the overlapping between smart contract and prediction market. I'm from a global consulting firm called AlixPartners. So first, let me introduce my firm. I'm a senior VP of the risk advisory business at AlixPartners. We have a head office in New York City and 26 offices across the globe, including both North and South America, Asia, Europe, and recently we opened a new office in Sydney to expand to Australia. So what do we do? We are in the business of professional service, so we almost do everything and cross-border whenever our clients have a need. We do both traditional like management consulting, like a turnover, merger acquisition, supply chain optimization. We also do more finance-related consulting work like valuation and litigation investigation and dispute analysis. Recently, we also invested heavily in more technical aspect of the world, which is data forensics and AI capacities. Who are we? We are the number guys. We are CPAs, CFAs, PhD economists like myself, statisticians, engineers. We have people who are former staff members of the SEC, of the DOJ, and other regulators, in both U.S. and other countries in the world. And as always, because we are heavily involved in many ongoing litigations and investigations, please allow me to read the disclaimer. The information provided in this presentation is for general informational and educational purpose only. It does not constitute professional advice, legal counsel, or financial advice. The views and opinions expressed here are solely my own and do not necessarily represent those of AlixPartners or its clients. So maybe let me talk more about myself. My name is Zhong, family name is Zhang, as you can see, very confusing in English. But they're not so confusing in Mandarin Chinese characters. However, even in Chinese, my first name, Zhong, that character actually has two different pronunciations with two different meanings. So it's totally okay if you feel like my name is confusing. I had just great parents. I'm a Washington, D.C. based financial economist. I have been doing litigation consulting since 2019. I worked on many projects covering traditional securities market and market microstructure, including derivatives, foreign exchange, and ETFs. I also worked a lot, especially in the past 5 years, on cryptocurrency-related investigations and lawsuits covering stablecoins, ICO, and crypto exchange market manipulation. In addition to that, I also worked with private companies like Fortune 500 firms to help them respond to regulatory investigations originated from both the SEC and the FCA from the UK. And also help the firm with any, from time to time, class action lawsuits related to financial market disputes. So maybe let me provide an example of what I do or what we do, my team at AlixPartners. So last year, a major crypto exchange, they are everywhere. In one of their contracts, there are like just extreme volatility and also associated with abnormal withdrawal and deposit of both the token and the stable coins. And as a result, a lot of hundreds of millions worth of tokens are liquidated. So lawsuits follows, internal investigation follows. Some of the lawsuits are filed in UAE. We were engaged by the client. I fly out to Asia to help their general counsel and their internal team to look at the data, to understand what's going on, and to help them prepare and respond to all these legal issues. And to prepare for the lawsuit, we also find an expert, our internal expert who was a DOJ investigator previously, to serve as the testifying expert on the case. And it went very well for our clients. And before I started my consulting career, I was a finance professor at the City University of Hong Kong for almost 5 years. I did research in algorithm trading, quantitative finance, and derivatives. And I taught courses in trading courses and also very proudly crypto courses back in 2017 and 2018 when many econ finance professors, they were just considering crypto as a bubble or Ponzi scheme. I also coached our students' trading team. So let me add something for all of you for this industry. I added this slide last night because yesterday when John mentioned the pressure from the regulators on this industry, I feel like, oh, come on, it's really unfair, right? Because if you study economics, if you not only look at the more recent textbooks, but you dig back into like almost 70 years ago, there were 2 Nobel laureates, Kenneth Arrow, who is an American economist, and Gerard Debreu, who is a French economist. They developed this Arrow-Debreu general equilibrium model back in 1954 to describe how a free market economy works. And one crucial building block of that model is something called Arrow securities, which is a very abstract concept back then. It's a mathematical concept, right? It's kind of it's a contract that pays the holder 1 unit of value if a certain event happens in the future, and pays the holder 0 if that event doesn't happen. And that certainly rings a bell. I think that's exactly what prediction market is trying to do. So what I feel is, it's great business, right? Prediction market is a great business. But beyond that, it is truly, a very fundamental benefit to how free market operate, right? If you run the market as a free market, you need to collect the price signals from all the participants. But how can you make sure the price signals are accurate or true? You need to let them have an incentive to review their preference, which is the best through trading. And I think that's exactly how prediction market could benefit the economy and benefit the society. I just want to share that with you guys. So, this industry is really a good industry for the overall market. So, back to the main topic, what I'm going to talk about today. As I mentioned, I started doing research and teaching crypto like back in 2017. Back then, the most interesting part of, let's say, Bitcoin or blockchain is not speculation. It's not like a digital gold. It's not privacy, the ability to, doing, regulatory arbitrage, but the ability to create something called a smart contract. We all know modern theory argues that the contracts are literally the language of the operating system of our economy, of our market, right? So if we, but human contracts are inefficient, are incomplete, and they have many pages, right? So it's a headache to look at a human contract. and you need to hire lawyers to enforce those contracts. So smart contracts is a fully decentralized, automated, trust-free ways of settlement on the blockchain, which is running 24/7. Right? The idea is very simple. I mean, in this very simple example, let's say we have two entities. They don't even have to be human. They could be AI. You know, one wallet A and a wallet B. They are trying to trade on the outcome of a Fed decision of this year. So let's say if Fed cuts rates this year, right? Then after the year end, A will make $1 from B, and vice versa. And to do this, they just need to send a $1 funding input to the contract on the blockchain. Let's say Bitcoin blockchain can handle it, however inflexible it is. And even on the blockchain, you have a lot of this alternative code for you to describe a conditional transaction. So you can code it as, you know, if this happens, you are sending $2 to wallet A. If that doesn't happen, you are sending $2 to wallet B. Everything on the chart except the blue parts can be coded on the blockchain. The blue parts are the bridge between the blockchain and the real world. In this case, it's after this year, you know, whether the Fed actually cut rates or not, right? The blockchain has no way to observe this. We need some entities to bring that information to the blockchain in the form of an input or transaction. And those entities are called blockchain oracles. I like to, you know, explain the oracles I'm talking about here is not the within the prediction market oracle to try to figure out the right outcome to settle the market, but it's the oracle for the blockchain to bring the settled outcome to the blockchain system. But good oracles are really hard to find because first of all, they have to be decentralized. You cannot rely on a monopoly to do that. Monopoly is bad. Monopoly has too much power. It also imposes a risk of a single point of failure to the entire system. And the oracle also has to be properly incentivized to do the right thing, especially when the stake is high. And that's very difficult because in a traditional contract situation, whenever the stake is high, it creates a lot of conflict of interest or agency problems. And a good oracle also has to be running 24/7 because the blockchain runs 24/7. You cannot have a financial institution saying, I'm sorry, we're closed on Memorial Day, so we cannot provide the service, right? And a good oracle has to be like blockchain native, right? It has to be adaptive to all the different blockchains and the technologies. So back in 2017 and 2018, when I figured out this oracle is actually crucial to the realization of smart contract, I feel like maybe it's not the time, right? Maybe smart contract is an idea that's still too early. We need to wait for other pieces to show up in the in the market. And that's why I'm very excited about the prediction market because in my opinion, prediction markets are, maybe unintentionally, they are the natural oracles for this smart contract design, right? Because prediction markets are incentivized to tell everybody the truth, right? To reveal the truth and publish the truth. Prediction market has defined events covering many aspects of the economy, and they have pre-scheduled resolutions. So it's easy for the smart contract users to look at one specific prediction market and design their contract around it. And of course, there needs to be some coordination about the type of technologies, the type of encryption to use to bring this to reality, but it's possible. It's possible. And we have nowadays many competing markets, in this industry, and there probably will be many more. And that's good because it's a competitive market. There is no single point of failure. Smart contract users have a choice. And the smart contract also allows, so for example, if I cannot trust one specific prediction market to serve as an oracle, I can design my contract as a M of N multi-signature contract, which means I can request, for example, N result from N different prediction market. As long as M of them agree, it works, right? So there is a redundancy built into the structure to allow this to work. And of course, prediction markets are well integrated with blockchain. That's the advantages. And from the prediction markets perspective, why they may be interested in that, right? What's a benefit for the prediction industry if there are some extra services can be provided on the blockchain and the smart contract industry? I think first of all, if we look at the traditional financial markets, are way more diverse in terms of market structure, right? In the US, we have open limit order book market regulated under regulation NMS or National Market System, on which the trades clears at NBBO or National Best Bid and Offer. They contribute to the price discovery. But not all the traders would like to trade on an open limit order book market, right? So we also have alternative trading systems regulated under the Reg ATS, like dark pools, like electronic crossing networks. They provide privacy, and they usually provide less or even no price impact. And of course, we have old-fashioned high-touch over-the-counter market to serve really large volume that is not in a hurry to settle, but hope to settle at a better price with the least market impact. So currently, prediction market doesn't have all of those extra market structures. But in the future, when there are more trading activities, on-chain, off-exchange, smart contract-based system could serve as the over-the-counter or ATS analogies for prediction market, right? Because again, not all traders want to trade on limit order book, right? They may have a large position to unload. They prefer to unload it in a more discreet way. If we provide them alternative trading mechanism, we can expand the ecosystem and attract more discrete liquidities, maybe from institutional investors. And if those large liquidity shocks can be, let's say, can be put aside to the alternative trading systems, like on the smart contract, they reduce liquidity shock to the main limit order book, which is also good for everybody on the limit order book. And from the exchange's perspective, providing this kind of additional value-added service to the clients are also good, and it also diversifies the business. Yesterday we discussed, the coming Supreme Court decision. That's probably going to have a lot of impact to this industry. So it's better to prepare and try to expand the business into other type of the trading and other types of clients. So since we still have time, let me just explain in terms of technology how this might work out. But before I explain that, let me ask everyone, please raise your hand if you have ever sent like a crypto transfer on a wallet, to the exchange or to another person. Right. Yeah, many people, right? The majority of this room has done that, so that's great. But how many of you have ever sent a transaction with what they call offline signature? Have you heard about that? Anybody heard about offline signature? No? So we're still early because, it's very dangerous, right? Very risky for, imagine if you are Coinbase, right? Or if you are the custodian of the Coinbase, you hold billions worth of crypto on a certain private key. You don't want to expose your private key to any device like that, like your cell phone connected to the internet, right? You want to keep the record on a completely offline device. But if the private key is offline, how can you transact, right? How can you send the transactions? It turns out the technology actually allows it. Some wallets allows it. I think there is a wallet called Electrum. It actually allows you to design the transaction. You can pick, okay, I'm sending a certain amount of, let's say, USDT from this wallet to that wallet, right? This transaction is designed online. But instead of signing it online, you can bring that designed transaction to your offline device through like a USB or whatever connecting devices to the offline machine and sign the digital signature using the private key saved on the offline machine. So that although your transaction is broadcasted online, your private key always remains offline. That's how these professional custodians or in this industry handle the private key security issues. And this technology is similar to that in a flavor because it provides a way for people to transact using a smart contract called discrete log contracts, which is proposed actually almost 10 years ago by Thaddeus Dreiha, a research at that time at MIT Media Lab, to provide a way for people to transact in a way that the public will not know the terms of their contract by just looking at the blockchain. And the Oracle, although it's providing, crucial input for their transaction, also does not know what's going on in a contract. Of course, this is the technology possibility, but I understand in many cases due to, as John said yesterday, due to regulation, due to law, you need to know, right? And that's possible. So you don't have to hide your identity or all the details all the way. If you want, you can voluntarily disclose that to the exchange or to the Oracle. But if you don't want, you certainly don't have to do that. The intuition of that is the two parties, they are put their fund and also the terms of their contract into a cryptographical sort of a safe. It's a structure on the blockchain that hides the details of the transaction, right? They put the contract in the safe so nobody can see. They put a time log, in that example, the time log to the end of the year. So before the end of the year, nobody can open it, right? At the end of the year, the Oracle, in this case, could be a prediction market operator, observe the outcome and realize, okay, if outcome A happened, I'm going to pass the key to whoever in a contract that should receive the payoff if A happened, right? If A doesn't happen, the Oracle will pass the key to the counterparty who should receive all the fund, if the alternative event happens. So technologically, it's possible, and that's basically what I would like to share with everyone here. And I personally hope this prediction market industry and the blockchain smart contract, they can create some synergy and make our market more efficient in the future. So thank you, and if I have time to have questions. Okay, cool. Thank you.